Hey guys, here's how to change the belt on a Toro Timemaster lawnmower that connects the engine to the primary blade spindle right here. And you can see how severely cracked this belt is. Now, I figured out that belt was in such bad shape because when you engage the blades, you would get a pretty noticeable vibration. Now, that can be from the belt going bad, hopefully, or it can be a sign of a bent blade, a damaged spindle, or a bearing of some sort. So in this case, it's just the belt, so here's how to change it. Now, the first thing you want to do when you work on your lawnmower is to disconnect the spark plug wire just for safety. But once you do that, you can get a 3/8 socket and wrench out and remove the guard on the front right here. Now that's going to have 4 bolts that are 3/8 drive. There'll be one here, 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 and here. And you can pop that guard off. And you'll probably find a bunch of dead grass in here, which you can remove if you like. But then you will have access to these 2 bolts here, which are also 3/8 drive. And those hold this guard in place that you have to remove in order to pop this belt off of this pulley. Now, even if your belt is severely cracked and you know you're going to not be using it, I advise against cutting it off, because in the event that you ordered the wrong size, you're not going to have anything to fall back on if you need your mower right away. And it never hurts to have a damaged one just kept as an emergency spare, unless you want to buy 2 good ones. So anyway, the next step is going to involve getting underneath, but before that, while we're at this spot in the mower, here is where you can find your tag that has the mower model and serial number on it. You will need these numbers to find out what belts you need if you go to the Toro parts website. But once you go there and enter that information in, you'll be able to find out the belt that you need. And I got this one. This is an original X-Mark/Toro belt that I got from eBay. That's usually the cheapest place to get them from if you can wait for it. And I would advise getting original belts. Sometimes aftermarket ones work, especially when they're this, I think, A size. But I have had a situation where I ordered one that's a replacement for a Cub, and it definitely didn't work. So anyway, make sure you have your new belt before you go through or start this process. Okay, so next you want to go ahead and jack your mower up securely so you can get underneath without it falling on you. And what you want to do is take a look underneath. Now, I've removed this grass guard that kind of drags along the ground just to make it easier to see and make things a little bit easier to get to. But I don't think you have to do that. Now, this belt up here is the one we need to change. But as you can see, the wheel drive belt here is in the way, so we'll have to remove that first. Now, how do you do that? Well, this housing here, and you can see there's the pulley. I guess that's a gearbox. So the pulley on this gearbox is up top here. Now, in order to remove this belt, this gearbox has to rock forward enough to where the belt can pop off one of the pulleys. Now, the belt is tensioned by a spring. You can see the end of it here that is pulling this housing this way. Now, it's hard to do with one hand, but you can rock this guy. But this bracket, which I've already started to loosen, keeps the gearbox from rocking too far when you don't want it to. So you can get a 1/2-inch wrench or socket on this nut here and pull that off. I'll just loosen this the rest of the way. Then you can pull this bracket off. And I'll have to do it off camera because I can't do it with one hand. But then you can rock this housing forward enough to pop this belt off. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so now that the wheel drive belt is out of the way, you need to make sure that the blade pulley or the blade belt is no longer hooked to the spindle up front. But as long as it's not, you can start to pretty easily work this other belt out. Now, I checked. It's hard to do with one hand, but this is a guard here that helps hold this belt in place. But you do not have to remove it to get this belt out. So I might be able to do it here with one hand. Oh, there we go. So, come on, buddy. There you go. Okay, so there. Now, both belts are off, and you can string your new belt in and put everything back together in reverse order. And that is how you change your blade drive belt. Thanks for watching.